Here, the next jam we are starting looking at the white jammer in the penalty box. This is now the start of the second period. Up to this point we were following the red jammer. Now in the second period we are following the white jammer, who actually got the penalty between on the intermission. Red team challenged the call and white jammer got penalized between periods, so starting from the penalty box. And we are off. Lead is already being awarded to red. We are on our initial trip through the pack. Showing not lead here. Looking at that my jammer actually puts the cover on to show the star when the jam gets called off before any points can be scored. Lead awarded to white there, staying in bounds, just about. Approaching the pack. OPR's nodding again, and I believe, yes, 3 points, so everybody except this red 1, 2, 3 were scored. Staying in bounds, looking at the nods from the OPRs. Lead again awarded to white jammer. Getting 2 points on the first move there. Staying in bounds, still staying in bounds. And right there. Getting some air on the hit. Here is the contact. Obviously the skater is the initiator of this block. Well, but they are touching the track with both of their hands, and that by rule is going down. So even though they blocked the white jammer out, they have this nice view here, looking at that. Yep, this skater actually went down, so they, as the initiator of the block, they lost their superior position. So the jammer is free to re-enter, and we signal the no earned pass. I'm not sure regarding scoring. Because, yes, right now we're still on the track upright and we are past the hips, so we scored all 4 points, at least from the footage. I think that's what I'm showing. I think the scorekeeper might... well, now I'm just curious. Yes, I'm showing all 4. This, because I showed the no earned pass, the scorekeeper might have expected 3, but yeah, they got the points, then got hit outs, and then re-entered the track in front of them with the no earned pass. So both a pass earned and not earned on the same skater, so that's obviously a point. So all 4 points, and we're getting recycled to the back. Nice block by the red pivots, making us go out. Some skaters falling down on top of each other, but no one hitting down skaters, so that's always nice. That would be a penalty, it's quite unsafe. And we end up calling off the jam. Quick lead for white jammer. Getting all 4 points, calling off. Nice, quick and simple there. Moving on to the next one. Quick lead for red jammer. At this point we are somehow staying in bounds with the red jammer. Let's see if we get points. No, we do not. So red jammer calls off the jam before the opportunity. Here I was like trying to look at hands of my jammer, because there's this like, are they taking a whip? Are the hands just there? Are they juking? And the blocker is like expecting them to be there to lean on, but they're not. Really hard to say, especially in real time. Well, there's this movement by the hands, but you actually need to kind of see that, well, it kind of looks like they're throwing them out of the way, but maybe they are, maybe, yeah. Could call a forearm there, but it's really hard to know for sure if there was force in there, or was it the momentum on the blocker taking them out of bounds. And you don't want to call like everything that kind of looks like a forearm. You want to be sure. Otherwise you would be calling one on every trip through the pack on someone. Lead awarded to whites. Still no points, I believe. There's 1 point. As Team Red is trying to do a star pass, while we have the lead. I believe it was the brownish helmet that got passed, maybe. So still only 1 point. There's 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. Yep. So yeah, while we're focusing on the jammer, feel free to like count the points where actually our jammer's hips are passing the opposing blockers, like right here, 1 point. Still only 1 point, 2 points right here, and at this point you already need to remember which one of these has already been scored on, so hope you paid attention. And there we get our 3rd points, and we get hit out. In the end, I believe this was 3 points. And here, this is a clear example of like our jammer like getting hit to the back, but making a spin move here. So they were presenting the illegal target zone, so no back block for this blocker. I would say that was 3 points. Yeah. On the initial trip, no points have been scored, but you still need to pass everyone legally in order to get lead, including your own blockers. So here, I believe there was I believe this is the jammer, and there is 1 blocker in the box. We can like, yeah, they are going to the box. Maybe? No, I'm talking nonsense. There's no red blockers in the box at this point. But here we see only 3 red blockers there. We see the helmet cover and the hand here. So this is the jammer as we were assuming. So here we pass the first blocker. That is 2 points. 1 here and 1 from the box. Before you pass someone legally on the track, you don't get the ones in the box. So if the jam would have ended a bit before, let's say the jam ends right now, there's 0 points, but now it's already 2 points. So right from 0 to 2. And there's actually a star pass going on while this is happening. So actually now, yeah, this is quite funny. So right now, this pivot, this is a blocker, and this red 2-9, they are the jammer. So right now at this point, the original jammer has released. They're not touching the helmet cover anymore. So now the former pivot is now the jammer, and this skater is now a blocker. So actually now at this point, this now blocker gets scored on because they are behind our jammer and the box point. So actually now it's already 2 points now, and the third point now, like super bonus points if you like realized that before I pointed it out here. You get 10 points for attentiveness. Wow, what a word. Can't count to 3, can't say English words. And well, this is also kind of interesting because you can also score points only when you're upright on the track. So this blocker over here has not been scored on yet, and red jammer is on the ground right now. So you need to assess, did they like slide on their knees or being down? Did they slide past this blocker? Or did they just have time to score and then go down? But yeah, if my jammer was down all the way when they passed this blocker, they don't actually get the point. And yes, that is my call actually. So I did not give point for the last blocker because my jammer was called to be down when they were passing that blocker. So that was a lot going on for one scoring trip. As the next one, at least initial trip, much more simple, we get the lead. 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. So that was directly, again, there's only 3 blockers on the track, so this is already 2 points, 3 points, and 4 points. Winding up the next jam. A very similar situation to the previous one. Like here, I'm saying that the white jammer is again having a slight grab on the blocker. So I call them like making a very slight like nudge, but like chuck the blocker out of the way, whoop, out of bounds. So that was the reasoning behind my call there. But doing like quick little whips of opponents like that, it's deceptively hard to call accurately. One of the biggest struggles in officiating this sport is to be like call that's, was it actually the forearm action that caused impediment, caused loss of relative position? So you often can be like the previous situation was in the back of my mind, and it was sort of like what I call a cumulative penalty in quotation marks, which is not an actual thing in the rules. It's a psychological thing. So if you see like several similar like close calls in a row, they all add up in your mind that, okay, well now this is enough because of all these previous situations, even though obviously that's not the thing in the rules. It's just a psychological thing. And officiating is very much a lot about psychology, even though it like quote unquote shouldn't be. Also here I'm like looking at this little push, like that. Was it from the upper arm? Was there significant extension by the forearm causing my jammer the ability to pass? You tell me. I wasn't sure enough right there to make another call. But regardless, no penalty calls there. And the jam gets called off, 0 points, scored for whites. We move on to the next jam. Our jammer, I'm looking at the OPR here, like, what's going on, help me. They are nodding, at the very least they are not calling a penalty, so a lead awarded to white. Also here you can see like these slight touches by my jammer to the opponents. I would call those like not significant, but if my jammer like steadies themselves, stays on the track because they like take support from opponent, that would be a forearm penalty. Impact to the side there, I believe. Let's count points again. So 1 point on this one, 2 points, 3 points. Now the pivot is being scored, and the last one at this point in my mind I'm switching around. I'm not counting the ones passed, but the ones who are not passed. So it's this foremost blocker with the like nice magenta, light blue sort of trans flag colored helmet. And now all the points have been scored, and we are just like, yeah, here you can like see, because Team White has a blocker in the box, and so they just want to waste a couple more seconds before calling off the jam, so more of the penalty elapses. And for jammer refs, when you're like thinking who has been passed, who has not been passed, the jersey numbers, they are the like unambiguous marker, but they can also be hard to see, hard to remember. So most jammer refs use a lot like some details in the skater's equipment. For example, like a shining helmet like this, you can remember, okay, the shiny helmet has been passed, the red helmet has been passed. Sometimes you can like use accessories like socks or like a distinctive hair or like anything to just make you remember, or skates or even wheels. Anything to help you remember which one has been passed and which one has not. We are getting through on the outside, awarding lead to the white jammer. 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, and well, I believe that was not the point on the last one. Maybe it was, actually. You tell me. Right. Here you can see the significance. Well, the perfect position for me would be here. Looking here, I would be able, I think, to accurately tell which of these hips is in front of each other. But often when you're coming, you can see here, I need to go around the referee on the infield. And now, well, my jammer is a much better skater than I, so they're like accelerating. They see this opportunity to hit it and quit it on the infield. I can't match that acceleration. I need to react, so I'm getting left behind critically a meter or two. And yeah, I can't tell from this footage if that's a point or not. And if you can't tell, then it's not a point. Let's see. Yes, I'm showing 3 points, which might be a mistake. Very well looking at it, like frame by frame. Looked like it could have been 4, but I should have been in a better position to call it. Could not do it where I was at.